we thank Mark. Now, before I get into my speech, I really want to give Chad Blackman a chance to speak. Chad promised me that he was getting off a plane coming out of London and he was coming straight here. The plane was supposed to land at 6 o'clock. I think it's 8:30 now, so obviously he had some challenges. But before I get into my speech, I really want to welcome another young man to come to this platform and give his presentation, and then we'll come back. Chad Blackman.
Good evening to all here at Rockley. Good evening to you. It is certainly a pleasure, privilege, and honor to speak on behalf not only of the party, but on behalf of Dr. Duguid. As he said just now, I would have come from London only a couple hours ago, literally. And when he said to me that this meeting was taking place tonight, even though I knew that it would have been a tight fit, I had to do it. Because a lot rests on this election. A lot rests on this election. And this election calls for a very serious level of commitment, and not just the Barbados Labour Party, but all Barbadians. And sometimes you have to put aside comfort and convenience in the greater good. And I am very honored to speak on behalf of Dr. Duguid. Why? He has a track record of representation. Undisputed. The man works hard, he loves people, people love him. You can go anywhere, not only in Christchurch West, but anywhere in Barbados, and people knows what he does. He says what he means. If he says X, it means X. If he says Y, it means Y. And that is the kind of representation that Christchurch West needs again. And we must do all we can to ensure that whenever the Prime Minister decides to call the election, which is very soon, he can't delay it any longer, that we are going to ensure that Dr. William Duguid is returned to Parliament as the representative for Christchurch West. Make no apologies about that. As far as I'm concerned, there is only one person to vote for in Christchurch West. Dr. William Duguid. But I say that for a number of reasons. It is not just to return him as the MP, but we have to return him as the MP as part of a larger team to constitute the government of Barbados under the leadership of Mayor Amor Motley. And the reason is simply this: the country that we knew, the country that we were accustomed to and enjoyed, the country that was ranked as the #1 developing country in the world, the country where you could have gone into the supermarket and spent your money on food for your family and still have something left back to do whatever you need to do, that country no longer exists. And it does not exist not because people felt, you know what, Barbados has nothing to offer, so therefore we're going to just create a bad situation. There's a government upon our backs who care nothing. They care absolutely nothing about the people of Barbados. I was telling my colleague just now, Ryan Burke, who brought me here, and this is a very serious thing. This is not political banter or anything. The government refuses to come clean with the people of Barbados on the whole issue of the South Coast, which is just a couple of years down the road, you know. Just now on Thomas Cook, well, about 3 hours ago, when I was sitting down next to a passenger, he asked me, is it really true that there's sewage flowing on the roads in Barbados? Now, I ain't thinking as a BLP person, I'm thinking as a Barbadian. And it hurt me for that question to be posed to me, because the truth is, it is being seen all across the United Kingdom and all across the world that Barbados streets are filled with sewage. And I had to say to him, yes, because it makes no sense. Like, you can't fool people with information because it's there. I had to say to him, yes. They're trying, they don't know what to do necessarily, but hope is coming. You know what the man said even after I said that? And this is the part that hurts me, Christchurch West. He said, well, I am going to Barbados for the first time. I've heard glorious things before about Barbados. But the truth of the fact is, as you can see, I am here with my family. It's a party of 5. We spent a lot of our savings to come here. If we come, and the thing is they're staying on the South Coast in the Gap. He said, if we come and we see sewage and we can't enjoy it, this will be the first and last time we come to your country. You understand what I'm saying to you? But yet you can have a government who believes that it is not in their interest to come and level with you. But the same tourists, they can take up money from the consolidated fund and go and wine and dine them at Ilara Court and talk to them. But the people who put them there, people that look like me and you, they have no interest in doing so. It's a very, very sad thing. But it gets worse. Over the last couple of weeks, I would have been speaking publicly on a number of issues, particularly related to business. Coming on the 25th of May this year, a very serious regulation that is happening in the European Union that will have effect on all businesses globally is going to take place. And basically what it is that if you store, access or process data of any citizen of the European Union, so whether it be a British citizen, even though they're going to leave Brexit, well, leave the European Union via Brexit, France, Germany, Poland, doesn't matter. Once you are a citizen of the European Union, the European Union has this regulation that you have to be compliant with how you store those persons' data. So emails, telephone numbers, IP address, you name it. So the hotel belt in Barbados will be affected by it. Car rental companies will be affected by it. Insurance companies, banks. But the government of Barbados has not said one single word to the business community about it. You know what the penalties of this thing is? It is so serious that the minimum penalty, you're talking about 10 million euros. Understand what I'm telling you? So you have a situation where businesses in Christchurch West who access the data of citizens of the European Union, if you are not in compliance with this regulation, you have to fork out a minimum penalty of 10 million euros. You can do the conversion into Bajan. How much is that? About what, 25 million Barbados dollars? Somewhere thereabouts. Now a company making less than $1 million Barbados dollars per year in gross annual profit will have to shut down. Why? Because your penalty will be greater than how much you even make. So you can see the impact in terms of unemployment. So the families and persons who work in that business, who have children to send to school, who have mortgages to pay, they can't do it. Overall, they're talking about an economy of Barbados, which is already on its deathbed because of the Democratic Labour Party. When May 25th comes, going to have to deal with this. All right, when I spoke about it, you know what the Minister of International Business, Don Valens, said in the paper and replied to it? Oh, we are going to negotiate with the European Union. No, the thing is already done, seal and cast. There's no negotiation. It is such a serious issue, Rockley, that the United States private sector, they're spending billions of dollars to become compliant on the issue. But as I said, things get worse. Our economy is on the brink of collapse. And the Dems are already starting to tell a lot of lies. Well, more lies, not start. Last election, you will remember, they walk about Barbados telling people lies that if the Barbados Labour Party is elected, that we were going to send home thousands of people, which was never true. But it was actually them. I understand tonight that George Program got tonight on the television and said the same thing. So they're starting with that same rhetoric and lie again. But the truth is that we know that the Barbados Labour Party is the party that has the solution to fix the economy. No one can dispute it. From pre-independence and post-independence, there's one party that has led this country well when it comes to economics, not just economics, social development too, because there's this myth put out by the Dems that all we focus on is the economy. That's not so. If you want a sound social program, whether it be healthcare, housing, roads, education, you need money to do it, not talk. So that is why people cannot get the quality healthcare that they were accustomed to. It is a shame that the drugs on the drug formulary now in Barbados are drugs that the World Health Organization have condemned. They're not up to par. But you know why they're on our formulary? Because Dr. Ennis and crew, when he was Minister of Health, they lick out the money in the treasury. So therefore what you had to do, you had to cut back and go and buy second-hand goods, basically, in the form of drugs for people. So I can tell you, I have family members who are diabetics, and they now have to use second-tier diabetes medication. And the doctor tells them all the time, these things are going to make you worse. This is a very serious thing. You're playing with people's lives. But yet, as I said, they can fet and wine and dine, pump money in the constituency councils. Can you imagine? You have constituency councils, all they do, they spend more money. If you look at their budget, they spend more money in catering than actual programs. It's a very serious thing. As I said, this election is more than just voting for B. This is about saving the soul of a nation that was once a great, powerful little country. I will never forget. How much time I have, Dr. Dugan? Keep going. I could talk all night then. I would never forget a time I went to the United Nations for a meeting. I was a young man then. Still a young man now. At least I would like to believe so. And I had on a badge. Mark Barbados. So they have one Chad Blackman. Just had on a badge. So you know all these delegates in the hall. Again, I'm saying this to show you who we were as a country and who we still can be. But we got to move these people first. I had on a badge and it said Barbados. And this young lady came up to me from across the room. I saw her eyeing me. So I thinking, shoot, man, you know, he's a good looking fella. She might want to come and have a coffee. But actually, that was not the reason. You want to know what the real reason was, Raleigh? She put out her hand. She said, pleasure to meet you. I said, pleasure to meet you too, with my best voice. I said, but why is it a pleasure to meet me? She said, well, it's not so much a pleasure to meet you, the person, but you are from Barbados. I said, okay, thank you, but why is that such a good thing? You know what she said? She says, your leadership in Barbados. We had an economic issue. She's from Libya. That time Muammar Gaddafi was alive. And we had an economic issue that for at least 8 to 9 years, with all of our money and all of our wealth, we could not get figured out how to treat the particular issue. And she says, a team of your people at the site of a conference spoke to our leader and explained to him in 15 minutes what economists from the World Bank and the United Nations and the IMF could not do over a year period. Went back in Libya, and within 3 months, the issue was sorted. You understand what I'm telling you? That is the talent, vision, and passion and understanding that resides in the Barbados Labour Party. But yet you will have a bunch of Dems who want to make people believe that they have the solutions. Listen, if you can't get it fixed in 10 years, what another 5 years you can do? They can't do nothing. They left a treasury that had billions of dollars. Billions of dollars within the treasury and consolidated fund when they came to office in 2008. And they lick it out. They didn't put things in place to enhance and grow the economy even further. They lick out the money. But because they lick out the money, what they did is they hide behind a global recession which has ended long ago. Don't let the Dems fool you that this recession still exists. It does not. But as I said, it goes further. Last year, and I'll show you all this to paint the picture of why we have to re-elect Dr. William Duguid and why we have to re-elect the Barbados Labour Party under the leadership of Mayor Morley, trying to connect all the dots for all of us. Last year, I went to Guyana. Our currency is still 1 to 2, pegged to the US dollar. Guyana's currency is 1 to 200. Very weak currency. But the governor of the Central Bank of Guyana said that they will no longer hold in their reserves or accept Barbadian currency. Can you imagine that? I went there for a meeting and I had Bajan money, because usually when I used to go for CARICOM, whatever, you go with Bajan money and you exchange it. Very simple. No stress. It was a situation where then I had to ask friends who were there. I said, well, this is the situation. I have some Bajan money. Can you give me some US so that I could do it? Because the banks weren't taking me on, because it was a directive issued by their central bank. All of that happened because of what you see on the regional international market relative to our downgrades and our economy. No one wants to do business with the current Barbados as it stands. But Chris Sinclair and these people want to fool you and make you believe that all is well. It is not. They don't have an idea. They don't have a clue. When you got a man like Jepta Ince who does not understand the difference between a fiscal deficit and a physical one, it tells you, therefore, what the problem is. And these are people who were brought to represent you and I. No wonder why people now think that Barbados is a joke place. But we have hope. You have in a man who has represented you before. He has international knowledge and experience. He has a passion for people. He's not only a dentist, but as I said, he's an expert when it comes to how people can be represented. You understand? You need people in Parliament like Dr. Duguid who can get up and in front of a boy and tell it as it is and speak on behalf of the people of Christchurch West. Christchurch West has a historic legacy in this country, you know. From the time of Sir Henry come right up. You have a little blotch there in the recent years, but he can correct that wrong. You understand? That wrong will be corrected. And the truth of the matter is that whenever that time comes, we have to go there and rally behind Dr. Duguid and his team. Because don't take it lightly. You will realize in this election that the Democratic Labour Party and the other parties, I can't remember their names. I don't want to know their names either. They ain't getting free marketing from me. But all of them are attacking the Barbados Labour Party. You know why? Because they know that the Barbados Labour Party is the party that can do what is necessary for Barbados. And they don't want it to look as if it was them not being able to do so. But it's a very, very serious thing. And I find it curious. I want to ask some questions. I don't have necessarily to tell you exactly what I know at this time, because the right thing can come soon. But do you not find it curious that these so-called third parties are attacking the Barbados Labour Party as if it is the government? Think of it. Do you not also find it curious that the leader of the current government, a female leader of another party, are so close that they orchestrated a maneuver to make things appear as if there was some move afoot to remove a particular person out of our party? And the two persons who were there represented was one who can't file a proper form in court, and the other is a person who, as I said, is now leading a particular party. I would like to know if it is true that that a leader of a particular party, a female, was promised a pick as being the ambassador to Geneva once she can deliver and cut some votes in the election. No, this isn't a laughing matter, you know. This is a very, very serious thing. So people who are quoting the idea of giving somebody else a chance and all that thing, think of it carefully, because if you vote for a third party, you are in effect voting for the Democratic Labour Party. It is a very serious thing. I would like Frondell Stewart and all of them to explain to me where was the meeting held in St. Joseph in 2016 to decide how they're going to split and create this thing. So you have people who left the bowels of the Barbados Labour Party to go and form an alliance as unholy as it is, motivated by one single thing, not for the development of Barbados, not to make Barbados prosperous again, but you know what? They want to target our leader. But I can tell you this, I believe in military combat. Not physically, because I have not trained in physical military combat, but politically. If you trouble me, Motley, you trouble me. You understand? If you trouble Dr. Duguid, you trouble me. Because we are in the same ship. So if a man sending us missile from another ship, I can dare too. So we as a party and as a country have to rally around our team and understand that we have a singular mission to ensure that the Barbados Labour Party wins the next, well, this general election, whenever it is called. We have no time to court outside relationships. This is a serious time. Barbados is hanging in the balance, and it is sad. A country that was ranked as the #1 developing country for 12 years out of the 14 years that we were in office. A country that when it had bills to pay, they were paid in full. A country that when you spoke at CARICOM, and I've seen this myself, when Barbados turned on the microphone, there was a hush in the room. Same thing at UN, same thing at Commonwealth, wherever we went. Because why? The Barbados Labour Party MPs and ministers, whenever they travel, understood this is not about BLP now. This is about the image of a country, and this is about the souls of 270,000 people back home that we have to represent. That is a serious obligation. And now you have a bunch of cubbers. I want to say something else, but you know, I can't. But we have a bunch of goons who don't understand that it is more than drawing a salary in the month come of $12,000 as an MP and a minister. You have a situation where in 2018, where we should be on the verge of completely eradicating certain things from our society in terms of the standard of living, they're taking the money and doing all else instead of fixing the issues. You pay road tax, not because you like or you want to, it's a matter of law. You pay it mandatorily. If you don't pay it, there's a consequence to you. But yet you can drive up and down Barbados and see real potholes in Barbados. They have relinquished their duty. Can you imagine we come to the stage where the government creates a pothole program, not a road development program, not a program to create and enhance highways, but a pothole program? I want that to sink in your head, you know. That is how low we have descended as a country. Mediocrity is now the norm in Barbados. When you can hear Chapter 8 speak about potholes are a blessing from God, I mean, this is the sort of thing that we got to deal with. So we have to eradicate those cancers from Barbados permanently. Because if growth and prosperity is supposed to come back, we have to start now. They are the party that stand between us and prosperity. And not prosperity for us as individuals, but prosperity for us as a nation. Very serious thing. The region is looking on, you know. Barbados has a regional responsibility that whoever is the head of our government has to lead the CARICOM single market and economy. So when Ms. Motley becomes Prime Minister, by virtue of the Treaty of Chaguaramas, she has to lead it. Fernandez Stewart has relinquished responsibility to the point where now CSME is dead at this point in time. And we as a country cannot afford to continue as just Barbados alone. Regionalism is really here to benefit us all. But in wrapping up on the point, as I said, we have to ensure that we get all of our members understanding our responsibility in this election. I have a daughter who is 5 years old. Many of you have children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews. And we cannot allow lies to be spread and to seep into people's mind. You remember in 2008, David Thompson and his Democratic Labour Party said that nurses, teachers, and police were going to get duty-free cars. You remember? And they knew that they never had any intention of doing it. But it sounded good, and sound bites, and it ran and it ran. And afterwards, when you meet them certain places, my sister about we never planted them. That is how they treat people. Another thing that we have to be very cognizant of is that, and I said this at Kirk's meeting 2 weeks ago, you should never play with God. The Democratic Labour Party has this thing that they try to appear as this godly party. But when you lift up the skirt and you look underneath, you realize they're not. They play with God, they play with the church. And they want to talk about a lot of issues of morality. But let me tell you this. The Bible that I read, God is not part this way and part this way. Thieving is a sin. You understand what I'm telling you? As the basis of thieving. So stealing is wrong. It's not only against the law, it's against God. Corruption is against the standards of God. So if the Democratic Labour Party wants to talk about God, they first have to deal with corruption. Have to. You can't have MPs and ministers in the Democratic Labour Party, and I'm not saying this in a very callous way because sometimes we all go through those things. But you can't have an MP or a minister or ministers in a situation where prior to 2008 election, they are running from their landlords, hiding in the house lock up. Landlord outside, refused to pay or unable to pay rent for at least 2 and 3 months. But after you become an MP and a minister, you can drive an X5. You can have 6 and 7 apartments. And on top of it, you can have a bank account that suffers from obesity. You understand? That don't make no sense to me. Because even if you are a shrewd investor, like Warren Buffett, and you know how to invest in stocks and bonds and these things, you can't do that within the first year. It can't happen. So somebody has to explain to me how these men become so lavish. But yet they want to talk about integrity. They were the party that says if elected in 2008, they're going to introduce integrity legislation. There's no integrity legislation law in Barbados. They tokenized the process. They took it right up, but they have not proclaimed it, which means there's no law. But they go through the exercise of trying to appear. Barbados, wake up. We have a country to serve. And it hurts me saying, I could never imagine in my wildest dream that Barbados would be on this right now. You know, these are the issues that we should have been discussing in this election. Have we continued on the trajectory we were in prior to 2008? We should have been talking about things about how to advance healthcare on a level that we can start exporting healthcare on a global level. How can the Barbados model now be turned into something that can make us not only proud, but turn it into something that can benefit the country financially? How can we make Barbados the financial capital, not just of the Caribbean, but of Latin America and the Caribbean? How can we create not just one Obadeli Thompson, but at least 3 or 4 of them? How can we create at least another 5 Rihannas? Because regardless of where you come from in this country, regardless of what color you are, regardless of your economic circumstance, because we all born in a different economic circumstance. We have no control of that. But Barbados must be such an incubator that once you pass through its systems, you are prepared for world-class delivery. That is what Barbados has to be about. But now we caught up in pothole programs and constituency councils that don't function. But, as I said, this election is about fixing that wrong. So whether you are from St. Lucie, and I understood, and I was very, very sorry that I couldn't make it, I understood that St. Lucie had a fantastic meeting. Birth. I heard so. Ryan was telling me so. And that tells you something. We can't get cocky and complacent with it though, huh? But that tells you something, that people are ready for change. People are fed up. People knew what they had and know what they can get again. Because don't forget, Miss Motley was the Deputy Prime Minister of Barbados. Don't let them fool you with a lot of foolishness. Miss Motley was the Deputy Prime Minister of Barbados at a time where we were prosperous, #1 developing country in the world, and things were going well. So she has the skills. She was the Minister of Education. She was the Minister of Economic Affairs. She was the Attorney General, Minister of Culture, and Deputy Prime Minister. I remember when I was doing the bar, and I can close on this point, there was an old judge, now retired. We were at an event in London, and he said to me, "You from Barbados, sir?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "How is Miss Motley doing?" I said, "She's okay." He said, "That woman's mind is incredibly brilliant," and I'm being very serious about it. And I asked him why he said that. You know why? The man reminded me of I think there was something that she had to go there and argue on behalf of Barbados. I don't know if you remember, if you guys remember talking about Lawsy Conference. And he said to me that she stood up and orated her point on behalf of Barbados for 2 hours and 39 minutes. I said, Jesus Lord. The man remembered down to the minute, without a single piece of paper, on deep, serious points of law. And made the judges sit up and look up, and the end result was it was in our favor. And that is the sort of leader that we have. Found out Stewart, though he may be a lawyer, can't even go to the CCJ and argue a case proper. If the boy won't challenge me, let me go. But we have a leader right now who is proven and tested not just to be a lawyer, not just to be a regional lawyer, but a global visionary who is respected in the world. And that is why this election, placing a vote for Dr. Duguid, is placing a vote for Mayor Motley, which is placing a vote in securing our future and returning this country to being the #1. And we can move it from developing with an aspiration to be the #1 developed country in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much, Dr. Duguid. God bless you and your team and your campaign. And we all look forward to going on Robert Street the night when this man is returned as the MP for Christchurch West. I thank you.